Hi. Oh, good. You'll like it better in person. Oh, oh. No, I'll have to go out of town for my mother's birthday. Yeah. I wish I could. Yeah. Thank you. Cool. Thank you. Need the lyrics. The first slide. There was a time in my life thought I had to do it all by myself. I didn't know that the grace of God was sufficient. I didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, well, it's all right. You got to let it go. Let it go. Let it go. And this is what you got to say. Come on with me now. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit, and I'm only here for God. Let's do it again. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit, and I'm only here for God. Yes, I'm only here for God. Good morning, Unity. Good morning.
Wow, what a way to start a Sunday morning. Let's give Rachel another round of applause. Thank you, Rachel. You sure got my heart pumping. Thank you so much. Well, welcome to Unity on Greenville. My name is Sandra Dela Cruz, and I am your celebration assistant this morning. I am so happy to see everyone who is here, your beautiful and handsome faces, and welcome to all those people who are at home. We are so grateful that you are listening to us this morning. What a Sunday morning. Woohoo! We at Unity practice a positive path for spiritual living. And I have some announcements to make this morning, so let's get started. We have a wonderful group of upcoming speakers, so I hope you will continue to join us. We are so excited, of course, today for Reverend Jeanie, but we also are looking forward to our other speakers. So please come whenever you can. We'd love to see your beautiful face. Today, Reverend Jeanie is teaching us about feng shui. And I don't know about you, but I've got little piles all over my house. And I am certainly, that's why I'm going. And so even if you haven't registered and haven't paid yet, you can go today and just walk upstairs. We have a potluck, and right after the potluck, we are going to learn all about how to take care of that clutter that we all have in our homes. Well, I'm speaking for myself. I don't know if you've got the clutter I do, but yes, I am excited about getting rid of my clutter. So today, like I said, we have potluck upstairs. Everyone is welcome, whether you brought something or not. We would love to have you. There is always extra. It's a bountiful banquet, so please join us. I've had several people talk to me recently about our change in ministers and how there are a lot of feelings about the fact that Reverend David has left us. And so we are going to have a healing circle for all of those who would like to participate. Reverend Veronica Valles will be conducting this healing circle, and she'll be doing it virtually on Tuesday, the 21st at 6:30. And in our newsletter, there is a Zoom link where you can join the healing circle. And I'd like to read you what Reverend Veronica wrote. She said, "Let us gather in a safe and sacred space to bear witness to the recent announcement of the ministerial change. With open hearts and minds anchored in divine love, each one of us is invited to compassionately explore our feelings and needs regarding this situation. Accepting and allowing grief to arise, we will meet the mindful awareness, heartful intention, and listening, turning to the power and presence of our inner guidance in this container of consciousness." So if you would like to join virtually, 6:30 Tuesday night, you will look in the newsletter. There will be a Zoom link. She will also be here in person next Sunday morning at 9:30 to also conduct a healing circle. So it is open to everyone, and so I'm hoping that we have some participants who would like to talk about how they are feeling about our new ministerial change. Now we have brought back the most wonderful thing. We are going to have a silent auction on Easter Sunday for cakes. You can bid on a cake. And let me tell you how it happens. When you walk in the door, all the cakes will be displayed. So when you come into service, your mouth will be watering because you'll have an eye on a specific cake meant for you. So you'll be able to bid on it in a silent auction. And right after service, we'll have the final bidding, and you'll get to take that delicious, lovely cake that you bid on. So it is something that we're bringing back, and we are so happy about it. So, and I was told that there might be like cupcakes and cookies too. So, two of our wonderful members are going to be having a book study, The Four Agreements. Donna Kirby and Ben Garcia are going to be doing this book study beginning on April the 16th through May 26th, a 6-week course. It'll start on Sunday mornings at 9:15. And the book is to be purchased by participants. Workbooks will be provided. If you're interested, there will be a sign-up sheet in the foyer. So we're very, very excited to begin our book study. See, we are just doing all kinds of things around here. Want you to know that we will be announcing very soon prayer chaplain training. The training, the date will be announced. And the way that this happens is if you are interested in being a prayer chaplain or not, you can participate in the training, because a lot of times when you're in the training, you find out your heart is really wanting to be a prayer chaplain. And then if you go through the training and you decide that you don't want to be a prayer chaplain, that's fine too. But it's a wonderful way to learn affirmative prayer. And I don't know about you, but I really love the practice of actually participating with others and practicing affirmative prayer. That was one of the main reasons that brought me to Unity, is that it's a different way to pray, and it's a positive way to pray, and it's a wonderful experience when you get to pray with others. So we will be announcing that date soon. We are a giving church and a tithing church. So the gifts that you give to us, we also share with others. So we take 10% of your giving and we share it with the Stew Pot, the Daily Word, and the Unity Archives. So you can be assured that as you tithe to us, we tithe to others as a church. So we have several ways that you can share with us your bounty. There are certainly ways that you can do it online. We have come to update our way of giving, and we are so excited. You can actually do it via Zelle. There's a QR code, text to give, or we take the old-fashioned way of cash and checks. So I don't know about you, I still have a checkbook. So I know a lot of people that don't, but I still do. I'm one of the senior members. So we would love for you to share your bounty with us so that we may share it with others. And every month I get the most beautiful letters from the organizations that we share our bounty with, thanking us for doing that for them. So I'd like for you to repeat our offering blessing with me. It's up on the screen. So our divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. With gratitude, we commit to using our gifts for good. Today's daily word is comfort. And today's affirmation is, I find comfort in expressions of love. Speaking the words, I love you, provides comfort for an aching heart and peace in times of uncertainty. Today, I open my heart to these loving expressions as a soothing balm for distress or grief. When I am concerned about another, love centers me in the truth that all is in divine order, no matter how circumstances appear. I enfold the people who I care about in a sphere of love, encircling them in peace and protection. When I am troubled, I find comfort in others' loving words. I surround myself with those who offer solace in my time of need. I find encouragement in their kindness and compassion. As we share of ourselves in kind and loving ways, we hearten spirits and bolster faith, giving comfort to ourselves and to others. Today's scripture is from Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 17. Comfort your hearts and strengthen them in every good work and word. Please repeat our affirmation with me. I find comfort in expressions of love. I'd like to invite Donna Kirby. She is our prayer chaplain today, and Judy Flemister is our keeper of the flame, holding us in sacred space at the back of the sanctuary.
Yes, thank you, Judy. She is holding us in sacred space. She is confirming and affirming the best for each one of us.
And we thank her.
My name is Donna Kirby, and I am your prayer chaplain this morning.
Let us pray. Sweet Spirit, as we allow ourselves to go within, to that sacred space that only you, Sweet Spirit, and I know about.
Everyone has that sacred space, that secret space, where we listen to your sweet guidance, and we listen to your voices of love and acceptance that we can seek within ourselves. We extend prayers to those who may be suffering, or perhaps they're happy. It doesn't matter. Just as long as they know and we know that you are taking care of them. We are grateful and we affirm that you are within each one of us, guiding us each day. Amen.
Are we there? The very air in this sanctuary is filled and charged with God energy. You can feel it, and you can sense it. So just allow yourself to be in this presence of God. Breathe it in, and just let it go. Do a quick check of your body. If you have any place that is a little bit tight or any kind of pain, just send love to it. Your body is your precious, irreplaceable, self-healing mechanism that carries the sacred space for your soul. Just soak that in. You walk around and you are actually a rainbow of light. As you walk into a room, your whole body and your energy centers flow behind you and swirl around you with all of the energy colors. And we forget that. But I remind you of that today. That you are love, energy, joy, healing, cohesiveness, clarity, and creativity in one little body. And I, for one, am so glad that you brought this with you today. There's nothing like coming together with people of like minds. And it brings me to grateful tears. I'm so grateful to be here with this group of people and the people who are joining us at home. Why are we here? Why are we on earth? We are here to be a difference and to make a difference. And we don't know how it shows up. So always loving God in this sacred moment, we open our heart centers. We open our pineal gland in the middle of our head, which is the creative center, connected and contacted with God. I want you to become aware of people in this room and people that you are connected with. I also want you to be aware of people in this city who feel so lost, feel so alone. We send out a wave of energy and love and acceptance, and we ask that people's prayers be answered in the most magnificent way. We're so grateful. We are so grateful. Take in another deep breath, please. Return your awareness into this room and allow yourself to be fully present as we share this time together. Thank you.
What do I really need? How do I really love? How do I let go of this stuff? What do I really need? What's important to me? How do I create energy? All I really want is beauty. All I want to share with the world. All I really have is this moment, and I'm strangely scared, not sure if I let go one piece at a time. I suddenly climb. Can I make this change? Can I take it slow? How do I just let it go? Can I spread my wings, soar across my life? How to let my true colors shine? All I really want is to be my best. All I want to share in this world. All I want to be is my authentic self. But I'm feeling scared, unsure. If I take one footstep at a time, I suddenly climb. All I really want is to be myself. All I wanna share in the world, all I wanna be is my authentic self. But I'm feeling scared, unsure. If I take one footstep at a time, I suddenly let my true colors show. Then I naturally know I know how to climb. Suddenly climb. I know how to climb. I suddenly climb.
I'd like to introduce Reverend Jeanie King. Let me tell you a little bit about her before she starts so that you'll get to know her a little bit better. I know I have something here. Yeah, here it is. I know it's here. Here it is. Here it is.
No, we don't want to
Okay.
hear from you. Oh, no.
Okay, I'll let you know. Reverend Jeanie King is a well-known speaker, teacher, radio host, writer, and the co-founder with Cindy Jordan of the beautiful network of women, Be Now, a global initiative for women advocating women. She served as the senior minister at Unity in Richardson for 8 years, following ordination through the Fellowship of Independent Unity Churches. Jeanie is a very lively and funny presenter, all right, and offers clutter clearing and feng shui webinars online and in person. She's done it for many years. She also facilitates the Artist's Way. Jeanie taught singles classes on how to love yourself enough to find lasting love and partnership with some great success stories. She is married to Dr. Joe King and lives at Texas Hill Country, where they own a veterinary clinic and boarding facility. So help me give Reverend Jeanie a wonderful Unity welcome.
You did great. Yeah. Now I have to follow up with that. I know somebody said, "Are you the speaker?" Hold on. Am I on, Herb? Okay, great. I said, "Wait a minute, I'm speaking today?" I had no idea. So good morning, everyone. I'm so glad you're here. So here's my deal with God. I always ask before I go somewhere that God brings the right people and speaks to the hearts and says, you need to be here today. So thank you for answering the call. And I'm quite serious about that. I really am. You know, it's like we set our intentions and we reverberate out into the universe, which is actually us. And, you know, it just makes all the difference in the world because we don't focus on what we don't want. We focus on what we want. It's like we throw our words and our intentions and everything up into the universe on a whiteboard. And we write it down. Oh, and we get into the whole thing. And, oh, this feels so good. And da-da-da. And I love having na. And then we look at that. And this little mean, nasty voice goes, well, how's that going to happen? You've never had that before. It's like, shut up. You know, but what we do is we erase it and we go, oh, you're right. Yeah, I can't have this brand new house. I can't have a new relationship. I can't have a job that I actually like. I can't have enough money. And we just erase it. And so we put down all the reasons why we can't have it. So the mind of God only looks at what we write down and says, Rachel, look what Jeanie's thinking. Whether it's good or bad. And God says, let's give her more of that. It's not punishment, it's not reward. So if you are not getting what you want, I'm going to invite you to think about what you're sending out, what you're focused on. You know, I have a friend that, I mean, I have just had to like whip her into line verbally, going, stop it. When I ask her what she wants, and none of them are these people here. I'm not quite that brave. Yeah. But, you know, I ask her what she wants, and she goes, well, I don't want this, and I don't want that. And I was like, you understand that's what you're creating more of, right? Our words are important. Our words have resonance and meaning. So my husband and I recently moved, and we had sold our ranch in the hill country so that we could build a winery next to the veterinary clinic. And so I ran a winery and a bistro for about 5 years until we couldn't get Texas grapes anymore, okay? And so it's been sitting there, you know, for about 7 years, and people have events in it. But, you know, I've had people that want to buy it, and I know that real estate agents say don't do this, but they tell me their idea. It's like, yeah, I'm not going to sell it to you. You know, because why? Because it gets a reputation for having a bad, you know, rap. And I'm like, no. So about a year or two ago, we started having freezes in the hill country. We had bought a house in town. It was nice. It was like 75 years old. And you understand that walls and homes, and this is what we're going to talk about too in the workshop. Every person who walks through brings their essence in. And this was 75 years of essence. And even though, you know, we sacred space cleared it and we did all this stuff, it still had that stuff in it. Well, after the second freeze, when we just had all this mess, and I looked at Joe and I said, here's why we can't sell it. It's because it's ours. I mean, we built it. It's ours. We love it. It's in the very walls. It's in the foundation of it. And so we went, well, that only took 2 years, right? And so don't do as I say, or do as I do. But we have renovated it, and we're living in our winery now. But the first thing I had to do is I had to change the name because it had the resonance. And so I would tell people, they're like, well, where do you live? And I said, you know, in the winery. Oh, we have a winery in Junction? I was like, no, we used to. So instead of calling it the winery, I have named it Casa 210 because it's 210 North 6th Street. And I had a logo made, and I have rugs and all that outside. And two of my sisters said, why are you going to get a logo for your house? And I said, because I want to. And we also have like this big area that we used to have, we called it the production room. It's 1,000 square feet that we're not ready for prime time. So, you know, we're building it out. We're going to have guest room, and we're going to have offices and another bathroom and all of that. But I couldn't call it the production room because what? It stuck it there. And I went, we're not producing anything here. So I realized that my new office is going to look out back, which is to the east, and it's going to be glorious. And so I'm calling it the East Wing. So one of my helpful sisters said, that sounds like the White House. And I went, well, it's not. Okay. So I want to ask you, how many people here have ever moved? It was painful, right? So when I moved from Dallas to the ranch, oh my word. And I don't hang on to stuff, but I couldn't believe this stuff had multiplied, you know. So, and everything that we own has got emotional residue on it. But I had bought this little condo over by White Rock Lake that was 496 square feet. People went, oh my gosh, you live in a shoebox. I went, no, I live in a tree house, and it's fabulous. And it was. But I had one little closet, and when I moved in, I had been living on several acres in a 5-bedroom house, 3,500 square foot, right? And I had a closet that was as big as this condo. And I went, this will never work. So I just looked at it and I said, okay, we're going to get rid of this stuff. And I just started clearing it out. Okay, here's the stuff that I bought for that job that I hated. Here's the stuff that I went on that cruise with that guy okay, all this stuff has emotional residue. So I just carried down armloads of stuff, took it down to the Salvation Army on Harry Hines, and the guy opened the trunk and he, ma'am, this looks like you've given us your whole wardrobe. And I went, pretty much. And I came back, I had 10 pieces of clothes in my closet. And I totally freaked out at first. And then I went, you know what, this feels good. And of course it filled up again. But, you know, why do we want to hang on to things? And it reminded me of the verse in 1 Corinthians 13:11 about changing. And it says this, when I was a child, I spoke as a child. I acted as a child. I thought like a child, but when I became a grown-up, I gave up my childish ways. And why would that be important? Because we can only believe and understand at the level where we are. And there are many reasons why we hang on to things, but I'm not just talking about physical clutter. Does anyone ever have a little bit of clutter going on up here? I know you don't, but you know, we have emotional clutter. We have this little voice that keeps, you know, trying to run our life. I mean, seriously, we have a 2-year-old trying to run our life, and we go, thank you for trying to protect me. Go sit down. But we end up wadding up our life with physical clutter too. So if that depresses you a little bit, I've got Rachel to help me out here. And I'm actually I wrote the words to a song, and I'm going to sing you a little fun song. Oh, my closets inside are frightful. Piles of clothes are not delightful. What is this? I just don't know. Let it go, let it go, let it go. You can tell that I've been shopping. Oh, my drawers, so full, they're popping. Where to start, I just don't know. I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. When I finally get it right. Too many coats to keep me warm. There's no need to hold on so tight. Even though I might cry, I might mourn. Lawn and plants are slowly dying, Cato. Every day is still good buying. Clutter clearing just makes me know. Let it go, let it go, let it go. When I finally get it right, clutter clearing becomes the new norm. This place is not such a fright. No more shame, no more fear, no more scorn. Well, my spirits are really flying, and today I keep on trying. As long as I let it go, life will flow, life will flow, life will flow. Let it go, let it go, let it go. You know, my husband thinks he's really cute. He tells me I'm not a ham because hams can be cured. I hope he's watching. So, you know, this isn't just like physical clutter. It's clutter in our minds, in our life, in our relationships, in our money. There's clutter everywhere until there's not. And we're going to go over, like with Feng Shui Bagua, and Feng Shui simply means wind and water. It's an 8,000-year-old practice that is all about flow. In our homes, in our lives, in our offices, everything needs to breathe. And so we're going to talk about that, but I'm going to point out and let you identify places in your house that always collect clutter, and your mind just went there, right? You know where it is. And I'm going to tell you what it means, because it means something in the Feng Shui Bagua, so that's cool. Way back in 1986, there was a movie starring Robert De Niro called The Mission. I don't know if anyone ever saw that. But he played this Spanish conquistador, or Portuguese conquistador. And they were down in South America in the 1700s, and they were capturing these Indian tribes and taking their silver and gold and enslaving them. And, that's what he did. And this is why, it's so important for us to be who we are, because this priest, instead of condemning him, loved him. And he was like, I don't deserve love. And he was like, God loves you. God can't possibly love me. Anyhow, he had an epiphany, and he made a conversion, and he was so angry with himself and so filled with shame and sadness and self-hatred that he took all of his instruments of war, his maces and his swords and his hatchets and all of these things, and he got a big net bag, and he tied them into this net bag, and he tied it around his neck, and everywhere he went, clink, 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 carrying this. And the priest would go, let it go, let it go. Nope, I deserve to be punished. So my girls know it. I say, if you say so, right? But he just kept, trying to help with the Indians. But he was so focused on his own self-hatred. So one day, it was raining real hard. They knew that the other conquistadors were coming, and the priest said, we've got to get up to the village, and the place was blocked off. So they were climbing up this mountain, and so the character that Robert De Niro played would climb, and it was muddy. He would climb a few feet, and then would go drag him down. And all of a sudden, the priest pulls out a big knife and reaches over and cuts away his instruments. And it all clatters down the mountain. And that's what God does to us. Is he said, let it go. You are no good to anybody if you are hanging on to all the reasons why you don't deserve, you can't have, and you shouldn't have. God loves us unconditionally. Unconditionally. Back in 1903, there was a little book that was written by James Allen called As a Man Thinketh. Have you ever read that book? And it was a life changer. And this is like over 100 years ago. And one thing he said that I love, he said, mind is the master power that molds and makes the, hold it, I just wear these for looks. Like when I want to look. Mind is the master power that molds and makes, and man is mind, and evermore he takes the tool of thought, and shaping what he wills, brings forth 1,000 joys, 1,000 ills. He thinks in secret, and it comes to pass. Environment is but his looking glass. I want you to think about that. We can talk a good game, but it's our little secret thoughts that are manifesting over and over and over. So when we pair our thoughts with emotion, a lot of people like to say emotion is energy in motion. People say thoughts are things. Have you ever heard that? And I say they're not things yet. They're seeds. And we water them, and we nurture them, and we let them grow. And, you don't go out and you don't plant a carrot and 2 days later pull it up and go, are you growing yet? No. You let it grow. Let it flow. But we think in secret, and we put into action those things that we're thinking about. The psalmist David said it this way. He said, may the words of my mouth, what I speak, and the meditations of my heart, what I think about, be acceptable in thy sight. Have you ever had, and we all do, we have what I call ODS, Old Delicious Stories. So years ago, and I really don't tell this story except when I'm speaking in front of people, and I'm not going to go into it in depth, but I used to trot this story out all the time because I've broken my back twice. Okay? Twice. That's the juicy part. But the thing about our old delicious stories is they have intrigue, they have suspense, they have pain, they have, and so I would wait. I owned a travel agency in Dallas, and people would go and say, oh, my husband, that ski trip you sent us on, and he broke his leg, and I was like, I'm So, I'm trying to work up, like looking, like I'm sorry. And I'm going, oh, I'm so sorry. But I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the opening. And I said, well, I do know what it's like to break a bone. Oh, you do? And I said, yes. Now, I'd say, I've broken my back. Oh my gosh, because that's like a dopamine hit. And I'd wait for the opening and I'd go, twice. So here's the problem with that, is that when I kept myself attached to that story, I had a young son. I could barely get out of bed. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't lift him up, And one day I woke up and I went, okay, you understand, we're from Texas. This is bullshit. Okay, that's a spiritual term here in Texas. And it's a great denial. And I just said, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not doing this anymore. And I made up my mind, that's it. And I woke up one day and I said, we're not having any more pain. So I jumped out of bed and it was like being stabbed in the back. And I went, okay, that's it for the day. And that was it. And so the pain started to go away. But here's what was hard, is changing my story. So the first thing I had to do is stop the story. Okay, it's like stopping the hemorrhaging, And so somebody would say something and I'd go, I gotta go. I have nothing to say about that. But here's the other thing, is you have to make up a new story because you can't just say, I gotta go. And so I thought, okay, what is my new story? My new story is I feel great. I can take my son to the park, we can run around, we can fly kites, we can go down the sliding board. And I just started telling that story. Can't wait for the weekend because I'm going to go fly kites with my son and we run around and, we hit the ball and we do this. And guess what? It became true. Now, I have no back pain, just so you know. None. None. And other people go, oh, my back. If you say so, okay? And I just want you to realize when you're telling your old delicious story, we actually have an attitude and we do stuff with our body. So here's what I would do. I would just first of all, I'd put on this fake little, oh, I'm so sorry for you. Just waiting like a vulture, And then I would lean in. So I want you to pay attention to this because we anchor this in our bodies. So when I tell my news stories and I teach the money game, a 30-day, it's a free class. I teach a money game thing. The stories we have around money, has anyone ever had any stories around money? Why can't you just be happy with what you got? There are children starving in China. I want you to, and it's like, okay, why don't you send them this mincemeat because I'm not eating it. But, we have got to change our stories about everything. When, I'm just going to do real quick thing, and you don't have to raise your hand, but this is audience participation. I know who you are. So, has anyone here ever experienced a lack of money or financial challenges? Mm-hmm. Have you ever, at any point, including now, ever felt unloved or unappreciated? Have you ever found yourself stuck in a job, a situation, or a location? Have you ever had relationship problems that seem unsurmountable? Have you had the experience of spiritual desolation? Have you had unremitting fear or overwhelming shame? Has your creativity died or been ignored? And are you experiencing any kind of chronic pain or disability, which I did for years? So these are kind of the things that we're going to be talking about and letting things go. And people say, well, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. I have a friend, Michelle. She was hilarious. She died in 1989. And people would say, it builds characters. And she said, I got to tell you, I don't need character. I got bags of character, okay? What I need is a little bit of help and relief. So I'm going to end with this. A Course in Miracles asks this: would you rather be right or would you rather be happy? Now, my little smart reply used to be, well, when I'm right, I'm happy. But here's the problem with that. In order for me to be right all the time so I can be happy, someone else has to be wrong. And here's the more insidious part, is if I don't think I'm right, I'm not allowed to be happy. So I go straight to happy now. I go straight to happy. I don't care about being right. I don't care, because happiness is my birthright. I'm going to invite you to look at yourself through the eyes of love. And I want to say this directly to each one of you. You never woke up a day in your life saying, how can I screw things up? You never did, right? You're always thinking, like, how can I make it better? And even the person that gets out there and robs the bank, you know, that he thinks that, you know, having money and being able to take care of his family or to do whatever it is, he didn't get up thinking, like, how can I go to jail today? No, I'm serious about this. You never woke up saying, how can I screw up my life? I want you to give yourself credit. You woke up, you showed up, even when you didn't feel like it. And look at you. You're here. And you are nourishing your soul. And you are making a difference and being a difference simply by being who you are. And I am so grateful that you are walking this path with me, because we're all one. We're all walking the path together. I invite you to make up a big, juicy story. My thing is, has anyone ever heard, you know, succeed beyond your wildest dreams? Yeah. Well, here's the thing. In order to succeed beyond your wildest dreams, you must first have big, wild dreams. You know, we're so limiting. You know, I often said, like, if God was asking for my help in, you know, doing things in the world and saying, okay, today we're gonna choose pink flowers. Like, yeah, okay, let's choose pink flowers. And he says, how many flowers, different kinds, do you think we should have? And I was like, well, let me see. Let me just expand a little. 6? He says, 6? How about 6 million? 6 million? You know, so it's like I'm ready for God to fill up my abundance cup. And we're standing at Niagara Falls, and I got my little tin cup. I go, fill her up. And God goes, what the heck is that? Get rid of that thing. Bring me a tanker truck. What? So, you know what? Let's expand. Let's think big. Let's change our stories. And let's let it flow. And I invite you, if you have not signed up for the workshop, just come. You know, you can pay any way you want, except children. I'm not taking children, firstborn children. But, you know, you will find out something about yourself. You're going to be given practical tools. You're going to walk away. You're going to feel good about yourself. And if nothing else, you're going to bring your essence into the rest of us. So I thank you. I love you. I bless you. I behold the Christ in you. Thank you.
Let's give Reverend Jeanie another round of applause. Thank you so much. What a beautiful, beautiful message. Thank you so much. And now we've got Rachel with another song.
You got to accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative. Let's on to the affirmative. Don't mess with negativity. You got to spread joy up to the maximum. Bring gloom down to a minimum. Have faith, or pandemonium is liable to walk up on the scene. To illustrate my last remark, Jonah in the whale, Noah in the ark. What did they say when everything looked so dark? Man, they said, we better accentuate the positive, eliminate eliminate the negative. Latch on to the affirmative. Don't mess with doubting in between. To illustrate that last remark, Jonah in the well, Noah in the ark, what did they do? Just when everything looked so dark, man, they said we got to accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative, latch on to the affirmative. Don't mess with negativity. Yeah, don't mess with doubting in between. You got to accent the positive. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Rachel. My goodness gracious. Let's give Rachel another round of applause. Woohoo!
Thank you.
We at Unity on Greenville have core values, and I'd like for you to repeat them with me. Unconditional love, conscious spiritual transformation, spirit of service, acceptance and inclusion, expression of divine light. If you would like to connect with us, if you'll go to our website, we have a connect button where you can ask for prayer, you can ask to be added to our e-news, you can share what you thought about our service, anything you would like. We would love to hear from you. And now, if you'll please stand, we're going to sing the peace song. But I want to remind you, after service, potluck, and then feng shui with Reverend Jeanie. So let's sing the peace song together.
Yes, there is peace on earth. I know it begins in me. Yes, there is peace on earth. The peace that was meant to be with God, united all are we. Now we walk with each other in perfect harmony. Yes, there is peace on earth. For this is the moment now. With every step I take, I make this my joyous vow. Take each moment, live each moment in peace eternally. Yes, there is peace on earth. I know it begins in me.
And now the prayer of protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Thank you.
May the light of God surround you. May the love of God enfold you. May the power of God protect you. Presence of God watch over you. Wherever you are, God is, and all is well.